Get him overawed going up into the barrier stalls. The red light appearing. And the 2-year-olds are set. They're ready to run. Stand by. They're racing. Charlton Eddie left on terms with nearly all of them, actually, because it was an even line out. Rockhard Oamaru off the inside, also Crown of Flowers. Now Charlton Eddie driving forward shortly after the start. Right behind them, Dag's big-headed. Cool Lingo's the widest of them, settling down. Town Hall getting back on the inside of Miyagi, and dropping out last is Miss Ivy League. They head along past the 900, out to the side of the course they go. Crown of Flowers had held the front, and at the 750, led a half to 3/4 over the raging favourite Charlton Eddie. Over on the inside, Rockhard Oamaru. Cool Lingo's up there, but just forced to cover extra ground here in transit with about 600 left to go. Right behind it then came Dad's big-headed, who's nice and prominent in advance of Miyagi and Town Hall in a tightly bunched up field. Miss Ivy League coming around them very deep from last. At the top of the home straight, Crown of Flowers headed by Charlton Eddie. Charlton Eddie now races to the lead. A length and a half, Dad's big-headed, Rockhard Oamaru, then Cool Lingo, Miyagi and Miss Ivy League. 200 left to go now, and he now draws the shillelagh on the favour. Coming to the 150, Charlton Eddie in front, a length and a half clear. Dad's big-headed, Miyagi down the outside, Miss Ivy League, but Charlton Eddie's going to hold them, and Charlton Eddie makes it 4 straight from Miyagi and Dad's big-headed. Town Hall all wide out, Miss Ivy League there. They were photoing fourth together. From back towards the inside, Rockhard Oamaru. A long way back in the field then to Cool Lingo, and knocking right up to finish last of all is Crown of Flowers. Well, he was getting tired, but he was coming off a month between runs with the 60.5 and stepping up another 100 in journey today, and he'd breezed, and Pat was really urging Charlton Eddie along, and he'd really done enough to win here from Miyagi. The little filly down the outside, and 4 Dad's big-headed, 1 from 8, 4, 5 Town Hall. Probably fourth in with Miss Ivy League, Rockhard Oamaru. They went to the line virtually together. So it's another victory for Charlton Eddie. It wasn't his most emphatic win of his last 4, but he was, of course, coming off a month and the 60.5 kilograms. By shooting to win from Ree Fem, taking out the Laver Rod Western Race Picks at Ascot Horse of the Year plate. So fairly appropriate that Charlton Eddie wins the race, named in honour of his stablemate. And also owned by Wally Daly, trained by Sean and Jake Casey, Pat Carberry the pilot. Number 8, Miyagi, second home by Universal Ruler out of Shibata for Impressive Racing's Kevin Berry, trained by Darren McAuliffe and ridden by Lucy Warwick. Number 4, Dad's Big-Headed, and I'm All the Talk 2-year-old out of Glamacine for Bill and Patricia Robinson. Jordan Turner, the rider, for trainer Colin Webster. Town Hall fourth in. So the favourite prevails, scored by a neck ahead second and third. 1:18.66 the time, and 36.76 there, the closing 600 split. Okay, all's well that ends well for the $1.20 favourite there. The runner-up, Miyagi, $20 on the WOP. Dad's big-headed, 17. The Heineken 3 handicap is the third at 1:17. Number 4, Stella D'Or, is the scratching, and we've got 8 to do battle in the next. And here it's number 3, Resort Man. We're going for a back-to-back odds-on double there from 1 Baby Blues and 2 Fura, 9 in Rocky Path. 3 from 1, 2 and 9. No doubt more to come very shortly. We'll try and pick up some of the services from downstairs with Britt and also Scotty Embry as well here after this victory of Charlton Eddie, who has made it 4 straight wins.
I do have Sean Casey downstairs. Sean, you looked a nervous man before the start of this. Obviously, the situation's been well documented a month ago, being scratched at the gate. You were casting a very keen eye during the prelim. Were you happy with what you saw from him behaviour-wise before the start?
Yeah, he's pretty highly strung, but he does contain himself well. He doesn't spend a lot before the race, but he is a ticking bomb waiting to go off every time, you know.
Noticed Pat was taking him for a bit of an extended prelim. Was that something that you thought, hang on, let's just get him to the gates a little bit later so he doesn't have time to stir himself up?
That was Paddy's master stroke. He wanted to try something different.
It worked, that is for sure. Yep. Halfway down the straight, he looked like he was going to put a margin on them like we've seen. What were your thoughts in the concluding stages where they were getting to him?
Exactly that, and He certainly may be telling us he does need a breather, because he certainly didn't tell us he's going to get further than that on that run, did he? So, yeah, we'll let the feed bin do the talking, I think.
Is he likely to head to the paddock? Is that the way you're thinking?
I would think so, yes.
Well, it's been a wonderful campaign from him. Congratulations on today's win.
Awesome, thanks.
Sean Casey training with his son Jake and Paddy Carberry. The master stroke, as he said, just taking him for that extra long prelim, making sure that he wasn't around at the gates for too long to get himself worked up, but perhaps just showing signs that whilst he still got the job done, that perhaps he's ready for a little break, given that they were catching him on the line. But a good effort nonetheless from Charlton Eddie. You might have been nervous in the concluding stages if you're on at $1.20, but he does right by the punters and gets the job done. Charlton Eddie appropriately taking out the Laverod Western Race Fix Ascot Horse of the Year plate.